Hey, Lakers fans, we're diving into some serious updates today, and I want to break down everything happening with LeBron James because there's a lot to unpack. First things first, let's set the scene. LeBron has been off the radar for quite some time. We're talking about missing months of the offseason, skipping preseason, not participating in training camp, and then starting the regular season late. He missed the first 14 games, and now we're 6 games in, trying to see where he stands. People are quick to jump to conclusions, saying he is declining or that he is not the LeBron we know, but let's slow down and look at the bigger picture. LeBron is not a shell of his former self. We have to remember what he has gone through in the past, the way he has managed his body, and how he always finds his rhythm after setbacks. We have seen him come back from injuries before and take a few games to regain momentum, and this season is no different, except the circumstances are even more extreme. There was no proper preparation, no chance to build conditioning through normal routines. And now he is being asked to integrate back into a team that has grown and changed while he was absent. We also have to consider the team context. The Lakers are not relying solely on LeBron anymore. Austin Reeves is playing at an MVP level, contributing in ways that take the pressure off him. The team dynamics are shifting, and LeBron's role is evolving. At 41 years old in his 23rd season, he is no longer expected to carry every single play. Instead, he is being strategic, fitting in, playing within the system, and letting the young gun shine when they have the opportunity. That is a huge part of understanding why he may look different on the court. It is not a matter of decline alone. It is about adjusting to a role where he maximizes the team's success without forcing his own stats. LeBron could easily push for that extra point, chase personal milestones, and seek All-NBA recognition, but he is consciously choosing to integrate with the team's flow. That decision shows maturity, intelligence, and selflessness, even if it looks like a lack of urgency from the outside. However, the concern comes from body language and engagement during games. There have been moments when LeBron seems checked out, not fully present on defense, or giving plays less energy than expected. For a player who has built a legacy on intensity and focus, it is noticeable when he does not interact with the pace of the game the way we're used to seeing. We saw it against Phoenix, with interactions on the bench that were unusual for him, and during certain plays where he did not fully commit to defensive responsibilities. This is what raises eyebrows, not necessarily his ability to score or create plays. Poor shooting nights happen to every player, even legends, and missing a milestone does not diminish his impact, but the sense that he is sometimes detached on the court is worth analyzing. Fans and analysts are watching closely, trying to figure out if it is fatigue, mindset, or a larger issue with his motivation at this stage of his career. The truth is, it could be a combination of many factors: adjusting to a new rhythm, managing body limitations, evaluating his role on the team, or even personal considerations we are not privy to. LeBron has never been someone to hide, but we are seeing glimpses of a player who is pacing himself differently, and it creates a narrative that can be misinterpreted if we don't step back and contextualize it. One thing that stands out, and what I want to emphasize, is that this is a natural part of a legendary career entering its twilight years. We have to distinguish between decline in performance and tactical management of effort. LeBron is still making smart plays, choosing when to assert himself and when to support teammates, and in many ways, this is an evolution of his basketball IQ. His decision-making remains elite, even if it does not always translate into flashy scoring. Watching him adapt to a system that no longer revolves entirely around him is fascinating. It highlights his ability to pivot, adjust, and continue contributing meaningfully without dominating every possession. That adaptability is part of why he remains one of the greatest players of all time, even if his physical gifts are naturally changing with age. Critics will point to moments when LeBron seems disengaged, when defensive rotations are slow, or when he does not sprint back on a play. But context matters. There is a deliberate process here. He is managing energy, watching angles, anticipating plays, and deciding where to commit. It may not always look traditional, but it is part of a strategic approach to longevity in a grueling league. The conversations about whether he is checked out or whether he is over the hill often ignore the nuanced reality of how a veteran superstar manages his body and mind after 2 decades at the top. LeBron has consistently demonstrated that he can recalibrate, come back from physical and mental challenges, and still perform at a level that impacts winning, even if it is not always immediately obvious in box score metrics. Another layer to consider is team dynamics. LeBron's integration is influenced by how Austin Reeves and other key players have stepped up. There's a shift in leadership distribution, and LeBron is choosing to mentor and support rather than dominate. That can look like disengagement to an untrained eye, but it is actually evidence of leadership that is evolving with his career stage. He is letting the team grow, guiding by example, and waiting for the precise moments when his intervention is crucial. It is a masterclass in pacing oneself and in understanding when presence on the court is more about influence than scoring. This approach, while subtle, shows a depth to his understanding of basketball that goes beyond personal statistics and legacy chasing. It is about winning, strategic patience, and empowering others to excel alongside him. In short, we are witnessing LeBron navigating an unprecedented season. Missed preparation, a delayed start, new team chemistry, and his own age all factor into why he may not look like the LeBron of a few years ago in every moment. He is still making smart decisions, contributing when it counts, and setting the tone for a team that has multiple leaders on the floor. His journey this season is not about one milestone or one stat line. It is about sustaining elite performance while adapting to evolving circumstances. Fans should appreciate the layers of strategy, experience, and self-awareness that come with his game right now, even if it occasionally looks like he is standing back and observing rather than actively dominating. LeBron's ability to still influence outcomes, make winning plays, and mentor younger teammates is remarkable, and it is a reminder that greatness is not solely measured by numbers, but by impact and adaptability over time. Now, as we continue breaking down LeBron's situation, there's another angle that often gets overlooked: the mental and emotional side of being 41 and still competing at the highest level. LeBron has been through it all: decades of playoffs, countless finals appearances, awards, and milestones. But this stage of his career is unique. The pressure has shifted. It is no longer just about personal accolades or chasing MVP titles. At this point, it is about longevity, team cohesion, and knowing when to exert himself and when to step back. That may look unusual to fans who are used to seeing him dominate every possession, but it is a masterclass in career management. His energy is finite, his body requires careful management, and his role within the team demands a level of awareness that younger players simply do not have to consider. Watching him play through this lens allows you to appreciate not just his skill, but the strategic intelligence behind how he moves and makes decisions on the court. We also have to talk about the criticism surrounding his body language, because yes, there are moments that raise eyebrows. Observers have noticed him appearing distant, seemingly detached during key moments, or not immediately responding to defensive opportunities. These moments can feel alarming, especially for a player of his stature, but again, context is critical. LeBron's approach this season is different. He is consciously choosing when to engage fully, when to support teammates, and when to conserve energy. He is making judgments in real time that balance his physical limitations, team dynamics, and the flow of the game. It is not necessarily disengagement. It is calculated presence. In some ways, it is a new form of leadership, one that prioritizes timing and impact over constant activity. It is subtle, yes, but this is what separates an all-time great from a standard veteran. The greats adapt, they read situations, and they know exactly when to assert themselves for maximum effect. Another factor in the discussion is the evolving role of younger players on the Lakers. Austin Reeves has emerged as a standout, taking on responsibilities that LeBron might have carried in earlier seasons. Reeves is aggressive, confident, and playing at a level that demands attention, which changes how LeBron interacts with the game. This is not just a physical adjustment, it is a psychological one. LeBron is learning to share the spotlight, to trust others to carry the load, and to integrate his presence in a way that amplifies team success. That is not easy for anyone, let alone a superstar who has spent nearly 23 seasons at the center of attention. It requires patience, humility, and an understanding that influence does not always mean scoring the most points. Leadership can be quiet. Leadership can be supportive. And LeBron is demonstrating both, even if it is not always immediately visible to viewers. Watching him adapt to this role is a reminder of how rare his talent is and how his intelligence on the court extends beyond physical ability. There's also the matter of public perception. Fans and analysts have been vocal about moments that look off, labeling them as disengagement or decline. However, basketball is nuanced. A single play does not define a season, and one defensive lapse does not erase decades of excellence. LeBron is still contributing to wins, still mentoring teammates, and still controlling the game in ways that are less obvious but equally important. The subtleties of his performance, such as guiding younger players, reading the opponent's rotations, and positioning himself strategically, often go unnoticed because they do not appear in highlight reels. Yet these contributions can be the difference between a close win and a loss. Understanding this perspective changes the narrative entirely. What looks like lack of effort may actually be intentional management, a careful calibration of energy and influence designed to optimize team outcomes over a long, grueling season. Another important consideration is the physical aspect of his game. LeBron is managing injuries, fatigue, and a natural decline that comes with age, but he is doing so in a way that allows him to remain effective. He is not rushing, not forcing plays, and not risking long-term health for short-term glory. That is a huge factor in why he may appear slower or less aggressive on certain possessions. His conditioning is being carefully monitored, his minutes are being managed, and his role is tailored to maximize efficiency and minimize unnecessary strain. This is smart basketball at its finest, and it is part of why he continues to be a central figure for the Lakers even at 41. Players who ignore these considerations often face long-term setbacks, but LeBron is playing a careful, calculated game that ensures he remains productive for as long as possible. The conversation also extends to leadership off the court. LeBron's impact is not limited to scoring and defense. His presence in the locker room, mentoring younger players, and influencing team culture are crucial elements of his value. Even when it may seem like he is detached during a game, his overall influence remains significant. Younger teammates learn from his approach to preparation, his understanding of strategy, and his ability to stay composed under pressure. Leadership is multifaceted, and LeBron's contribution cannot be measured solely by his visible effort on the court. His ability to model professionalism, adaptability, and strategic thinking provides lasting benefits to the team, which may not always be immediately apparent during live play. At the same time, we cannot ignore that this stage of his career invites speculation about the future. Fans naturally wonder if this is a sign of decline or if there are deeper issues regarding motivation or fit within the team. These are valid questions, but the answers are not simple. LeBron's performance this season is shaped by a combination of mispreparation, physical management, evolving team roles, and strategic pacing. Interpreting isolated moments without considering the broader context can lead to misleading conclusions. Observers should remember that even legends require adjustment periods, especially when circumstances change as dramatically as they have for him this season. Patience and perspective are essential when evaluating a career of this magnitude. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, Los Angeles is buzzing tonight after an incident that could reshape the Lakers' locker room dynamic. Reports from inside the arena suggest that head coach J.J. Redick, known for his calm demeanor and analytical approach, lost his composure in a way no one expected. Sources say that shortly after the final buzzer, Redick slammed his hand on the table in what witnesses are calling a dramatic display of frustration. The room reportedly fell silent, the usual post-game chatter replaced by a stunned pause as the players and staff tried to process what had just happened. What has sparked wild speculation across social media and inside NBA circles is what allegedly followed the outburst. Insiders hint that Redick made a drastic, possibly unprecedented decision. He plans to remove a key player from the lineup. Who that player might be remains unclear, but the buzz is intense, with fans and analysts speculating on whether this move is purely disciplinary or a shake-up meant to send a message to the team. Sources suggest that tensions have been simmering for weeks, with disagreements over strategy, effort, and locker room leadership quietly building under the surface. The Lakers' front office has remained tight-lipped, fueling even more rumors. Some say the decision could mark a turning point for the team, forcing players to step up or risk seeing reduced minutes. Others argue it could backfire, potentially fracturing team chemistry if handled poorly. Redick's bold approach has drawn both praise and criticism in the past, but this latest incident has fans wondering if the coach is stepping into uncharted territory. Social media is alight with speculation, memes, and debates. Headlines scream about a locker room shakeup, while insiders whisper about meetings behind closed doors, phone calls with agents, and possible trades or benchings on the horizon. One thing is certain: Los Angeles hasn't seen this level of uncertainty around the Lakers in a long time, and every fan is now watching closely, waiting for the next move. Whether Redick's bold gesture will be remembered as a turning point or a cautionary tale remains to be seen. But the city is talking, and the rumor mill is running hotter than ever. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.